Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be walking you through the process of registering for classes and creating a term plan step by step. So what you're looking at here is the registration tab of our web. This is where you can view everything registration related. I'm going to go to prepare for registration first. This is where you can view your time ticket, and your time ticket tells you the earliest date and time that you can start registering for classes. So it's very important to know when your time ticket is. You can see that for my case in particular, I have February 18th at noon. And also on this page, you can view any holds that are preventing you from registering for your classes. Usually it's something that's GPA related, so it's important to know if you have any holds as well. I'm going to go back to the main registration tab and click on term plan. And you can see that for this upcoming quarter, I haven't created a term plan yet, so all I'm going to do is press create new. And so on this next page, you're going to need to know the course codes of all the classes that you're registering for. I have a spreadsheet in which I know all the course codes of previous classes I've taken and future classes that I will take. You can see that for the upcoming quarter, I'm going to be taking CS10, Math 10B, ME10, and NB 130. So on the next page, these are the classes that I'm going to be typing in. So the first class I'm going to be searching for is computer science. I'm going to type in CS10, and the series has 3 different classes. I haven't taken any computer science yet, so it's 10A. I click search, and then I go to view sections to see the lectures and the labs that are available. You can see that there's 3 different lecture times, as well as corresponding lab times. You can choose any lecture that works with your schedule that you decide you want to pick. You have to click on view linked so that you make sure you add the corresponding lab. If you have a discrepancy, then you won't be able to add the lecture or the discussion onto your term plan. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to click on back to search results and search again for the next class. I'm going to be looking for my math class next, so I'm going to type in Math 10B. Go down to search once again and click view sections so that I can see the lectures and the discussions. So you can see I've got a Monday, Wednesday option for the lecture. There are the corresponding discussions, and I also have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday option for the lecture. Once again, it's just a preference thing, whether you want 2 days a week for math, 3 days a week for math. Personally, I like the 3 days a week, so I'm going to click view linked. And then once I do that, I can see the discussions that correspond to that specific lecture time. Once again, you just pick the one that you want, whichever one fits with your schedule. I decided to go with 11 a.m., so I'm clicking add all. It's going to add that to my term plan. I'm going to go back to the search results once again. I'm verifying on the bottom that it actually added onto the term plan. Everything looks good so far, so I'm clicking search again, and I'm going to move on to the next class. This is my statics class. I'm going to go down once again to search and view sections. For this class, there's a 8 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday. There's the discussion sections. So for this class, you can see there's only one lecture option, so I'm clicking view linked. And that's going to pull up the discussion sections that we just saw. So once again, it just comes down to picking the one that I want. I clicked add all, and I'm going to go back to the search results again in a second. Once again, just verifying that everything added on the bottom. Some classes will have multiple lecture sections and some won't, so a lot of the times you're going to have to jostle around a little bit with your scheduling. You have the option of making up to 3 term plans if you have one schedule that you prefer over others. This is because of the fact that sometimes you might be worried about a discussion filling up or a lab filling up, so you want to have a quick backup plan. Once again, for this class, you can see I have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday lecture. There's only one lecture available, so I'm verifying that it's going to fit with my schedule. Luckily it does, so I'm clicking on view linked, and that will pull up the discussion sections. You can also see the status, which means how many seats are available, how many seats are waitlisted, how many seats are only for students in learning communities. So it's important to check the registration status already of how many students have already enrolled in those classes when you're creating your term plan. So that was the final class I needed to search for, so I'm looking at my schedule, verifying nothing overlaps, and I'm going to go down to save, and this is my prospective course plan. So everything looks good, And if everything goes good on registration day, then this is what my schedule will look like. Once you click on a class, you can see some more details available. You can see those are the link sections, you can see the course description, the instructor name, and this is all just a lot of helpful information you can use to help you decide which class you want to register. You can see there's the number of seats available once again. A lot of this information, like the course materials and requirements and bookstore links, won't be available until about a week or two before registration. So once I've looked at all the info, I can double check my schedule one more time, and I fast forwarded to the actual date of my registration. So there's the registration tab. I'm going to click on term plan once again because I want to see the current enrollment numbers that the classes I selected have, just to make sure that once I actually start registering, I won't have any classes that are full that I'll have to fiddle with last minute to try to find a replacement for. So I'm going to click on the enrollment/waitlist tab of every single class that I selected ahead of time, and you can see how many current seats are available. So it's 6 for this discussion, and I'm just going to do that all the way down the row so that, like I said, I don't have to try to find a replacement class last minute, because it's very stressful when you have a term plan that you made ahead of time and you think it should all work great, and you didn't double check the enrollment ahead of time, and then you have to try to find one last minute and compete with everybody else to get the last seats in a discussion or in a lab. It's really stressful, so it's good if you can check ahead of time at this enrollment. And I'm just going to finish these last couple classes, make sure that everything's good. This was about 5 minutes, you can see, before my registration time at noon, so this is a good last minute check to make sure everything's going to go right. It's now noon. I fast forwarded once again, so I click on register. I'm going to click on continue for the spring term. And on this page, you'll see a tab that says plans, and that's what you're going to want to preload. So you click on plans. I'm loading the one term plan that I chose to create. You click add all in the top right corner, and then on the bottom right corner, you're going to hit submit. And if everything goes good, you'll be able to register for all the classes on your term plan, and it worked great for me. So you can see my schedule there. Everything that I planned on my term plan, I was able to register for. I hope that this tutorial has been helpful, and if you would like me to make any more tutorials related to UCR portals or UCR content in general, just drop a comment below and I'll be sure to get on that. Check out my other videos if you're curious about UCR life. I'm currently in the process of making a Q&A series answering miscellaneous questions from current freshmen, and questions about housing, and questions about how to get an on-campus job, and even more. So check out my content and subscribe if you'd like to know more about UCR life, and I'll see you next time.